everybody. Uh, I hope everyone's having a great Friday. I'm in New York, so it's kind of rainy and just gross. But hope everyone is enjoying their day. My name is Zoell, and I just want to say thank you for tuning in. This is your January 3rd, 2020 WWE Smackdown review. And overall, it wasn't that great of a show. I was honestly bored. I did miss the first 30 minutes of the show. I was eating dinner with my daughter and watching movies with the family. But I was not in any rush by no means to see the show. But I did catch up eventually, and this show just for 2 hours, I was just literally staring at the screen. Like, I'm so bored. But, I'm going to keep up these reviews and hopefully you guys keep tuning in. I did re listen to my last upload and I do want to apologize ahead of time. I do say the word a lot. It is a really, really bad habit. And I don't know if it was nervousness for the first video or maybe I was just thinking too much, but I am going to try and work on it. So just bear with me, and hopefully as I continue doing these reviews on YouTube, you guys leave comments and suggestions to help me, or rather I need to help myself, honestly. But I'm rambling on. Let's just get started with this boring episode of SmackDown. We did start the night off with a triple threat tag team women's match. It was Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Dana Brooke and Lacey Evans. I do not see the purpose for this match. The announcers didn't say the winner is going to get a tag team match with Asuka and Kairi Sane. What was the purpose of this match? You have Sasha and Bayley, who are somewhat in a feud with Lacey Evans, and Dana Brooke kind of just got thrown in the mix, which for the life of me, I don't understand how this woman still has a job, let alone is put into a match with the caliber of talent like Sasha Banks and Bayley. But I can go on. Lacey Evans, she is a face now, and I don't know if they're piped in cheers or if the crowd is actually getting behind her, but I cannot buy her as a face. This whole military thing, it's cool, but every week we get reminded that she's a former Marine, and it's like, okay, does that add to her character at all? Does it make us like her more? Because right now her character is insufferable. That accent, I don't know if she's putting on. I haven't seen an interview with her to know the difference, even if there is one, but I just can't get behind her. She is blonde, she's big breasted. Sorry, there I go again. But anyway, she's blonde and big breasted, and she's exactly the type of female that Vince McMahon would push. So it doesn't make her stand out. She's just like a different version of Charlotte. And I just can't get behind her as a face. Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss could care less. Nikki is way too talented to be stuck in a tag team with Alexa Bliss. Alexa is she is so bad in in the ring. I just can't understand why anybody would like her. She's not that good. Yeah, she's easy on the eyes, but so what? I don't know. And Sasha Banks, her return with this heel turn has just been piss poor. She hasn't won any match that matters. She's playing a sidekick to Bayley, who her even in her own heel turn, she's just boring. She came back with this new haircut and this new attitude, and I'm still waiting for this wow factor. If her being in a tag team and her being in these little meaningless feuds does nothing for her, and it does nothing for the championship. Michael Cole on commentary, he said something to the effect of, the winner or the winners of this match will, step up to be the number one contender to Bailey's championship. And I'm just sitting here wondering how and why. None of these girls in this match deserve a championship match aside from Sasha. And she's playing Bailey's lackey, so she's not going to be challenging for the championship anytime soon. So who is really left? Naomi is MIA. I mean, the Usos return tonight, so hopefully that's a opening for her to return, not necessarily with them, but she is associated with them by marriage. But I'm just like, who is on the women's division on SmackDown that's worth a championship title match? Like, who? Where are the rest of the girls? I don't understand. But this match was just boring. Bailey came out with Sasha. I mean, Sasha is just gorgeous to look at. So I could just look at Sasha making her entrance for 2 hours and I would be perfectly fine with that because she's just absolutely gorgeous. But other than that, this match did nothing for me. The crowd in Memphis, were they even awake? Because you could hear a pin drop in that arena. So I don't know. But anyway, Bailey came out. She grabbed the mic. She said that the WWE Universe doesn't have what it takes to keep up with their New Year's resolution. She said that she and Sasha ended their 2019 year on top. I'm still trying to figure out where and when. Somebody please direct me to where they ended their 2019 on top, because last time I checked, Bailey lost that triple. Well, she tapped out to Shayna Baszler. She was somewhat put in a feud with Lacey Evans, and we all know what feuds with Lacey Evans, where they lead to. Just ask Becky Lynch. Sasha was getting punked by Lacey Evans and trying to avoid the women's right by all means. So I'm really just trying to figure out who writes these promos and where are they getting their information from, because I'm just not seeing it. Lacey and Dana interrupted, and Lacey said that she doesn't understand what Sasha and Bailey get out of trying to scare her 7-year-old daughter. And her goal is to be a positive role model for everyone. And at this point, if I wasn't already bored, I'm bored. I don't know how many times I'm going to mention it because the show was just boring. That led Alexa and Nikki to come out, and they asked why they're even in this match. And I, for one, if I've never agreed with anything Alexa has ever done or said, this is the one time that I am 1000% behind her, because I do not understand why her and Nikki Cross are in this match. I don't understand why this match is even happening. But anyway, they said that they may as well just start their 2020 with a win, and you could just hear the whole crowd just sigh, or at least in my mind, just sigh like, oh God, now we have to sit through a Lacey Evans match, a Dana Brooke match, Alexa Bliss match, and I'm just like, I should have just watched another movie with my family, because I'm not interested in this match at all. But anyway, and by the way, speaking of Dana Brooke, what is she wearing? I just don't she looks like a wrestler from 2K20. Like, what is she wearing? She went from not standing out to now looking like every other blonde chick on the roster. She just she's so bland, and part of me wants to root for her, and that's honest to God. Part of me really wants to root for her, because I really do feel like a lot of these girls don't get a fair rap, because we don't know if they're training to get better in the ring, because they're not presented every week. But it's like, when I see Dana, I just roll my eyes, because she brings nothing to the table. I can just hear like Titus calling her from behind the curtain, like, Dana, no, wait, I'm about to serve, you know, the sweet potatoes that I made for New Year's, and you're missing it. I don't know. But anyway, Sasha and Bailey took control over the match in the beginning. Frequent tags in and out. Nikki hit a big dive to the outside, landed on everybody. I can just again hear CM Punk like, please stop, for the love of God, just stop. Sasha hits a Meteora. Dana breaks up the 3 count. She hits suplexes on both Sasha and Bailey, and then she goes for the pin. Lacey hit a standing moonsault. Then she went to the top rope to hit a moonsault. Sasha saved Bailey, who was able to hit a Bailey to belly. And she went for the pin, but Dana interrupted. Alexa and Nikki interrupted. There was just a lot of like interruptions for the pins, and I'm just like, please, somebody get pinned so we can move on from this match. Alexa and Nikki double teamed Sasha, and she reversed and went for a pin, but Lacey hit her with the women's right, and then Dana went to the top rope for a senton. She pinned Sasha, and they got the win. Like I said, this match did nothing for me, and the fact that Sasha is taking pins from Dana Brooke, like, it must be a cold day in hell. What does this do for anybody? It doesn't make Dana any better. It doesn't push her to the top of the roster. If anything, it pushes Sasha down, because why is she taking the pin from Dana? Unless Dana is going to be challenging Bailey for a championship, I don't get it. Nor do I care, honestly, but it just doesn't do anyone in this match any favors. So we move on, and basically The Miz walked into Kofi and Big E. They were celebrating with pancakes, and for the life of me, please, like, I love pancakes, but every time I see them on SmackDown, it just makes me hate them. Kofi, he was riding high last year after his WrestleMania match with Daniel Bryan, and I'm just wondering why? Like, why? I just I don't know. It's just crazy how 1 minute you're on top and then the next you're just rock bottom. And I'm not saying that Kofi's rock bottom, because he is a tag team champion with Big E, but this New Day shtick has just gotten so old and so played out. I can't I can't I can't put it into words. But anyway, long story even shorter, The Miz challenges Kofi. There was some words exchanged, so they're gonna have a match later on. Then we go to Elias, who's in the ring, and he's, doing the Elias thing. And he makes fun of Dolph Ziggler's comedy, and he calls Baron Corbin an STD that won't go away. That was probably the only highlight to his little song, because again, Elias is he's just a mid-card player at best, but another waste of time. Then we go to the Revival backstage. Chad Gable comes in. I'm not calling him Shorty G or Shorty Gable, Shorty nothing. His name is Chad Gable. And basically they had some words. Chad Gable said that he has embraced who he is, and the Revival should do the same. Dash, him, just. I don't know. I'm trying to review this show. I'm trying to recap this show, and I can't do it. I can't. But let me just take a deep breath. Okay, so basically, Dash Wilder accepts Chad Gable's challenge. Tonight was just full of meaningless matches and challenges being thrown out left and right. Color me excited. So The Miz and Kofi Kingston, this match again, don't really care. The Miz lost after Kofi snuck a win. Well, that's how the commentary team would have you think that he snuck a win. But I mean, right now, if The Miz won against Kofi, again, who cares? What does that do for anybody? Nothing. Kofi winning obviously makes more sense, but again, they're the tag team champions. What are they doing? Do they have any challengers? Does anyone care? I'll wait. But anyway, The Miz attacked Kofi after their match, and hopefully this is a start for his heel turn, because The Miz as a face is just terrible. He is terrible. I mean, when you see The Miz, you want to punch him in the face. That is just classic heel. Like, you just want to punch him in the face. You don't want to cheer him. You don't want to congratulate him. You don't want to shake his hand. You just want to punch him. And that is where he shines, because he knows how to get under your skin without even trying. And that is where he excels. So, and that is where he should be. He should not be pandering to the fans, because that is just not him. I mean, he seems like a great guy outside of the ring, but in the ring he needs to just play the heel, because that is what he's good at. So hopefully this turns him around. I mean, he's no top, he's no top tier talent, but Miz does well when he's in his element. And his element is being a douchebag and being a heel and just walking around thinking he is God's gift to the squared circle. You know what I mean? So hopefully no more of this nice Miz and this, oh, my family and all the Fiend and blah 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 blah. Let's just go back to Miz being a douchebag, and then I won't be as, his matches and his segments and stuff like that won't be so nauseating. Anyway, I think it was Kathy Kelly that wanted to try and get a couple of words from The Miz. She knocked on his door, and John Morrison answers the door. And color me again confused, because if this is John Morrison's return to WWE, this is a waste of time. They can do so much with John Morrison. I mean, he is excellent in that ring, and for all we know, yeah, he signed with the company again, but there has been like absolutely no buzz, at least from my knowledge, of his return. So this is how, and this is what you give us on a boring, meaningless episode of SmackDown. We have him answering the door, and he tells Kathy Kelly, "Oh, The Miz has nothing else to say." And I did see some people on Twitter saying, "Oh, maybe this will be the return of the Dirt Sheet, and maybe they can be a heel tag team." That's cool. If you're gonna pair them together and make them a tag team again and have them go for the tag team champions, that works. That'll work for me, because it gives both of them something to do. But it's still just a lackluster return for John Morrison. And part of me is just like, why did you come back? Why? Why? I don't understand why these wrestlers come back after so long. Like, don't you watch the current product? It sucks. Vince and his writers and these people behind the scenes, they don't know what to do. Why would you come back? But that's a whole nother thing. Then we had Otis versus Drew Gulak. Again, who cares? Who gives a shit? Because I don't. I don't. This was a throwaway match, but the crowd sounded like they were 100% behind Otis. And I love Heavy Machinery. I really do. I think there's a place for them on the roster. And this storyline, this little developing story between Otis and Mandy Rose, it's cute. I mean, I've never been a fan of Mandy Rose. I don't see the big thing. Again, she's blonde and big breasted. Whoop-de-doo. But, you know, during the match, we saw Mandy and Sonya watching the match on a monitor in the back, and Dolph Ziggler appeared and he had a couple of words with Mandy. And it just reminded me that if the company is just not going to push Dolph Ziggler beyond a certain point, but man, do they always find a way for him to be involved with any woman on the roster. I mean, in storyline, he is just, you would think that he's God's gift to women. Like, he's just always ended up with some woman on the roster, and I am a Dolph Ziggler fan. I know some people are just like, why? But I think he's amazing in the ring, and he may not be the best talker, and he's not built like a freaking Mack truck, but I think that he's amazing in the ring. And I'm trying to figure out, like, if the company does not believe in him, and if Vince thinks that he's a Shawn Michaels wannabe, and he'll just only be good for making other people look good, that's fine. People are entitled to their opinions, but I just feel like if you really think about it, he really comes out on top. Like, he doesn't get the short end of the stick, because he's always ended up in some type of storyline or situation with some female. I mean, Vicky Guerrero, Caitlyn, AJ, Lana. I mean, now possibly Mandy. I mean, the list goes on. Summer Rae at one point. So, I mean, to each his own, I guess. He always ends up with some pretty woman. So I guess he really is the winner when you look at it. That it could just be me. I don't know. I don't know. Don't mind me. I'm just going off the dome here. The next match was Braun Strowman versus Cesaro. The only thing I can say about this match is, man, has Braun Strowman fell off a cliff. I mean, he had to, like, really, it looked like he was begging the crowd to be involved, and everyone's just like, no, we don't like you anymore. Well, at least that's what I was thinking. And another note, Cesaro has on regular wrestling gear. Finally, he looks like he belongs in the ring, and not like he just lost his luggage at the airport. I that's the only thing I can say about this match. Sami Zayn is always interesting, and Nakamura, I mean, what is there to say that hasn't been said? I don't know. I mean, that IC title is just gorgeous to look at, but it's literally just sitting on Nakamura's waist, doing nothing, because Nakamura is doing nothing. Uh, After the match, Nakamura hit Braun Strowman with a Kinshasa, and that was it. Like, I really wish I could recap the match for you, but if the theme of my review is, if you didn't know, the theme of my review is I don't care, then I'm telling you right now, I didn't care for this show at all. And your main event, another tag match. Wow. Anyway, Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan versus Dolph Ziggler and Baron Corbin. Oh, Lord have mercy. I again. I swear, I said that I was going to start my reviews and my little podcast in 2020 by trying to be consistent in reviewing every show that I can, because I do have an 8-month-old, so that's going to be a little bit difficult. But I say that to say this. These shows make it really easy for, like, any YouTuber with common sense to just not want to review, because there's nothing to talk about. I don't know. It's I don't know. Anyway, Roman tagged in Daniel. At some point, the Fiend's music, you hear Bray Wyatt's laughing, and then they went to commercial. And I'm just like, they are begging me to change the channel. Because that's what I want to do. Or go to bed because the baby's sleeping. I should be sleeping right now. But I'm up reviewing this trash show. Anyway, we come back from commercial. The Fiend finally appears and he puts the mandible claw on Daniel Bryan. I'm trying to figure out where Roman Reigns was. I think someone on Twitter said that he was on the side of the ring just watching Daniel get attacked. He does his little disappearing act when the lights come back on, and oh my god, they had the horrible red lighting when he was attacking Daniel Bryan, and I'm just like, they'll never learn. They'll never learn. So when the lights come back on, Roman went over to check on Daniel. Dolph Ziggler attacks him. Him and Baron Corbin drag him in the ring. Some punching goes on. Dolph goes under the ring to get handcuffs. They handcuff him to the bottom rope. And this part was probably the only time that a smile came across my face. The Usos made their return, and I squealed like a a little fat kid in a candy store. I love the Usos, and I'm happy to see them back on TV. My only thing is, they were on Raw last time we saw them, so why are they on SmackDown? Not that it really matters. Not that it really matters, but just consistency. That's all I ask this company to do is be consistent. But anyway, they hit a super kick on Dolph. They hit a double dive over the top rope on Corbin. And that is how the show went off the air. The Usos and Roman stood tall. And that's it. So if they're going to pair the Usos and Roman together, I'm not mad at it. I'm not sure if even the Usos can make Roman likable because this feud right now is doing nothing for any of the parties involved. Nobody. So it's great to see the Usos back. Them being on SmackDown again with the New Day being tag team champions. If they're gonna be put back into the tag team title picture, then how many times have we seen the Usos in New Day? I mean, they always put on classics, but enough now. This just highlights the fact that there are no tag teams. There are no tag teams. Heavy Machinery is they're like a comedy group. From what I've read, the Revival is supposed to be a comedy group, but again, why? The Revival are amazing, but you know what? They keep resigning, and I cannot shoot them any bail anymore. I refuse to. So, I don't know, you guys, but that is my review for SmackDown. I don't know what to say about this show. Um, Thanks for tuning in. I hope, the audio sounds a little better. I did have a little bit of an issue with the last one. Other than that, stay tuned. I'll see you guys on Monday for Raw. And I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Please hit that like button and subscribe and leave your comments down below. I want to speak to you guys and things like that. So, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good night.